Universidad Nacional Autónoma de México. Escuela Nacional Preparatoria, Plantel 5 José Vasconcelos. Biofuels in Chemical Engineering. In specify biodiesel, development and projects. The liquid fuels represent a big attraction in account energy to their cheap availability and your easy transportation. A way to change this depends is true of biodiesel. These energies have attraction of environmental, is renewable and not toxic. Also reduce the greenhouse emissions. The ideally to produce biodiesel in a small scale is using the novel oscillatory flow reactor. This provides through mixing of the reactants and sufficient residence time for the reaction. The new process happens in single step because the production is concentrated in use primitive equipment. The researchers study the performance of each stage and the effect of the residence time in this process. To this process take into account the European standard to biodiesel. At the same time, research and study the catalyst to use in these reactions. The water is always present in this process because it's the best catalyst to use in these reactions to production in biodiesel. The challenge to researchers is finding the best catalyst to make a product more efficient and reduce the reaction time. The projects. The first project is the University of Cambridge. The investigations are to identify the properties in algae for production. The polymer fluids group developed the photo bioreactor for growing the algae. They are responsible for finding the best growing algae for this process. Algae have a rapid growth rate, with some species doubling every 24 hours, and they could produce 10 times as much oil per hectare. The major problems to develop the biodiesel is the cost, quality, and availability in countries, because the people has inherent consume fossil fuels. The process will be continuous to can development the best efficiency and performance to production of biodiesel. The second project is at University of Queensland. In the University of Queensland use the tallow providing low cost and is a well-resourced to this renewable energy, even if it's most desirably the ethanol. The ethanol as the reactant because it's easy to use in the process to create a biodiesel. The third project is a Massachusetts Institute of Technological in Department of Chemical Engineering, thinking in the cellulose and linking as catalysts and investigating the process to transformation for make a good reaction. One of the Romance Group recent advances remained a process that had traditionally taken multiple steps, hydrogen gas to turn plant matter into G-valerolactone is a chemical used to make films and polymers. This is a new process. For this, happen in a single step and forgoes the use of precious metals and hydrogen gas. The cake was fitting infinitesimal amounts of an acid into microscopic pores of a highly porous material. The action of the acid removes the need for hydrogen gas. The hydrogen gas is obtained at high pressure of this gas. The Romans say the great barrier to research is to cross the line between chemical engineering and material science. Also say, as we start, Working at the interfaces of fields, we shall begin to see new game-changing discoveries. As we conclusion that new energies will have a greater development until people see them as a good option on an inexpensively. As for biofuels, biodiesel is more developed and studied, for there is no doubt that liquid fuels are a good option to change and become more green in terms of the use of energy. Also be said that the material science and chemical engineering has much to contribute and design to improve this. I believe it. The new energies is our future because the planet needs you think in green. Thank for your attention. My name is Guadalupe. There is a reference to take in this information for this tutorial.